Hi, welcome to my other show. My name is Susan Rushton, and this show is Muse. It's the program on which I get to talk to people who have been visited by the creative muse or a creative muse. Dancers, singers, artists, musicians. Today my guest is a man I'm getting eager to know about. This is Paolo Reyes, who is Paolo. Paolo. P-A-O-L-O. Paolo Reyes, who is, among other things, the conductor for the Symphony Goes to School. And when I say symphony, I mean the Auburn Symphony. If you want to learn more, and you must, you have to, you should, you'd be delighted to, and I'd be delighted if you did, please go online at auburnsymphony.com. You will be delighted. And in addition to serving as the conductor for the Symphony Goes to School, you play in the first violin section? Or second violin section?
Second violin.
Okay.
Yes.
And so, how long have you been with the symphony?
You know, it's actually been kind of off and on with Auburn Symphony. I first got the call to join maybe 2 or 3 years ago for their Mondavi concert, when they did the Mahler First Symphony along with the Rhapsody in Blue. Peter Jaffe called me up and was like, "Hey, I could use some help for this concert. Would you want to join us?" I'm like,
"Oh, all right.
I'd love to do this."
You really want to. How did he know about you?
Oh, well, actually, I played as principal second for Folsom Lake at that time.
Okay.
And so that's how he got to know me.
And let me interrupt you. Peter Jaffe is conductor of the Auburn Symphony, as well as the Folsom Lake Symphony and the Stockton Symphony, among others.
He's just everywhere.
He's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. And so, how long have you been with the Folsom Lake Symphony?
Well, actually, you know, I was in the Folsom Lake Symphony for maybe, I'd say, like 2-3 years.
Okay.
And every now and then, when I get the chance, when my schedule opens up, I try to fit it in, because it's always fun, you know, playing. I like playing in a lot of orchestras.
Yes.
But right now, you know, it's just a majority of my time is spent doing a lot of private teaching, also conducting as well around the area. A lot of musical theater, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. So you are also, you said you do a lot of conducting and a lot of playing for musical theater, which sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah. How did you get started conducting for the Symphony Goes to School?
So with Symphony Goes to Schools, I think it was, I believe it was Jennifer. She played
Jennifer Keck.
Jennifer Keck.
She plays violin. She's been there forever.
And she was also doing like the preschool division of the Symphony Goes to School program. She gave me a call and said, "Hey, we're looking for a conductor to do Symphony Goes to the School for this coming year. Are you interested?" And I'm like, "Yes, I'd love to do this." So, like, no question, just said yes.
Okay. Now, so you've been doing this for how many months?
I think we're about, in terms of like the actual tour to the schools, I think we must be on our 3rd week now.
Third week.
Third or 4th week, around there. It's a lot of schools we're visiting. I think about 12 in total.
Okay.
Schools.
Now, why did you say yes?
Well,
isn't this a hassle? Going it's a lot of kids who are antsy and fidgety and
they can get fidgety at times, but you know, but the reason why I did it is because I wanted to, you know, it sounds cheesy, but I just wanted to have that sort of impact of like bringing like some sort of music or classical music to their lives.
I want to disagree with you.
Oh.
I want to say that it does not sound cheesy at all. It does not sound cheesy at all. And I was being devil's advocate when I said, what about all these fidgety kids? There are some fidgety kids who won't be attracted or distracted by anything.
Right.
But there are others that I've seen at any musical event, just caught, can't move, won't move, won't be distracted by their fidgety neighbor. They just are fascinated.
Oh yeah, actually, you know what? One of the things I do, and what I've been promoting with the way I program the concerts with the Symphony Goes to Schools is that I kind of promote a sort of fidgetiness to it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
clap here, clap
clap here, clap there. You know, there's I think one of the pieces we're doing is Blue Tango by Leroy Anderson. And so I have them clap the rhythm for the tango and just to get them involved. And then also we're doing syncopated clock. And so I had them do this along with the tick-tocking. And just a bunch of other activities to get them engaged with the music. It's like, hey, this piece sounds familiar. I wonder if you can recognize it. And then they're like, oh yeah, this is the Nutcracker from
the Nutcracker.
From the Nutcracker, Tchaikovsky's ballet, and then there's Sugar Plum Fairies. And it's like, and then it's always, I see it in all the musicians that are playing too. When we're all just. When we hear the students go like, oh, hey, and they look to the neighbors like, I know this. What is this? What is this? I know this piece, and then so that gets exciting.
Yeah.
And so all our faces light up, and then we're also doing like a bunch of other music. Like we're doing The Incredibles as well, music from that, and so the kids get excited. Of course, like, oh, that's from The Incredibles. Yeah. So it's really.
So they might hear the term classical music and symphony and think, oh, this is heavy.
Yeah, this is that.
But this is music I know.
Yeah, it's music that they know, and then it's music that they didn't realize they know.
Yeah.
And it's also exciting. And it also just it makes me happy that they can, one, recognize the music, and also two, like, think it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's my goal, to make them realize that they actually like this music. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to know how long you've been a musician.
I was thinking about that on the drive over here. How long have I been playing? Because after like maybe 15 years, I start to lose count. So I had to do some math in my head, and I think about 24 years, 25 years.
Okay.
I've been doing music.
So, and you started when you were 1?
I started when I was 9.
Okay. All right. Did you start violin when you were 9?
Actually, I started piano.
Okay.
I started piano. I took lessons for about 3 months, and then I switched to violin.
Why? Why did you switch?
I actually enjoyed the piano lessons, but at the time, we just couldn't afford having lessons on a weekly basis. So then I just had to stop. Thinking about it, I was like, wow, I was actually like legitimately sad. Back in that, around 9, it's like, oh wow, I'm not taking any more piano lessons. But then I started taking violin,
which was cheaper.
No? Well, actually, yeah, in a way it was cheaper because it was free. Because what I was doing because I was doing
a violin lesson.
Well, it wasn't like I didn't have private lessons growing up. I was basically just taking lessons in a beginner class that was offered at the school I was attending. I grew up in Tracy, and so they just had fourth graders are allowed to take violin or cello or whatever, and then fifth grade you can go on to woodwinds. And
great.
And so that was the program that was offered, and so my parents said, "Hey, they're offering a music program. You want to learn how to play violin?" It's like I was kind of indifferent. Because I was 9.
You like the piano? You like the piano?
I like the piano.
Yeah.
I like the piano, and then I was just like, I guess I can do this.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it. Why not? And but I think my heart at the time was really set on clarinet because it looked like the coolest instrument to me. And so they said, okay, we'll start with the violin. We'll get you in the violin. if that works out well or whatever happens, you know, you jump through your flaming hoops. You can go to clarinet. I'm like,
Start
okay,
with the
fine.
violin.
So then I did that, and you know, I was like, okay.
And did you stay with it?
I stuck with it.
Yes. Why?
Well, I was actually, you know, I guess I had some sort of affinity for it. I was doing pretty okay with it. I was having fun, and then also
excuse me, you were doing pretty okay and having fun.
I was having fun.
Okay.
Yeah, I was having fun. You know,
good.
I think I was doing all right.
That's important.
Yeah, and so then you know, come time like a year later, I'm like, hey, Mom, Dad, I did my year. Can we jump to clarinet now? It's like, whoa, we already got you the violin, so you should just stick with that. I'm like, all right, I guess I'll just stick with violin. And when I went in, you know, in the long run, I'm happy I stuck with it. No offense to any clarinet sound,
for the right people.
I'm glad I stuck with violin
because you're good at it. You like it?
I enjoy it.
Okay.
I enjoy it. I mean, and also the culture behind like string instruments is just it's
the
fascinating.
Culture behind what?
The culture behind like making violins and you know just like the super expensive you know Strads and Guarneris that I'll never afford, but maybe have a chance to play one day. You know, if someone like offers me the chance to play it, then I'll take that chance.
Yes, please.
Because apparently you know it's just an experience.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to share with you guys that before we got started here, my director, my producer, no, I'm the producer, the general manager was oohing and eyeing over your violin and the bed you keep it in.
Yes.
That is beautiful.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, this was actually all of this was all recently purchased.
Including the violin?
Including the violin.
How many violins have you had?
I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wow.
This is my 5th one.
Wow. Where did you get it?
This one I actually got from the Bay Area. I went to Berkeley. The lady who's selling it is Joan Balter. She deals with a lot of fine string instruments, a lot of modern makers, and you know she's kind of like one of the go-to people in the area. You know she's worked on like a lot of famous musicians about instruments. Like there's a picture of her with Yo-Yo Ma,
including you.
I guess so, including me. Including me.
Yeah.
She also worked on Midori's instrument as well. So there's a picture of her with Midori, and you know, just kind of
So you were in the same room where this woman had a photo of Midori. Okay.
Yeah, and then you know, I think the next day I was there, she was, I forget the name of one of the former concertmasters for the San Francisco Symphony. They were just kind of chatting because I guess he had brought in his bow to have rehair, and there was like just a tort bow, you know, which are like ridiculously expensive bows, just laying on her bench, just waiting to get repaired. So
let's see that violin.
Oh yes.
So how old is that violin?
This violin is actually very young.
So hold it up. Yes.
Thank you.
Very young. You mean how old?
30.
30
years old.
Okay.
Well, 31 coming around May.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I see this spot, this light spot here.
Right.
I told you that I was interested in that.
Right. So this happens. Well, from what I've learned about this instrument, the maker is David Rubio. He's English. Actually, famous for making a lot of harpsichords back in the day, and maybe about 1,000 instruments altogether. Harpsichords, guitars, Baroque instruments. So like a Baroque faded
and this
violin.
is wononderful. He makes a living doing this.
Yeah. He actually passed away back in 2000.
He made a living doing this. Okay.
He made a living. Made a living doing this. But you know, he was kind of famous for doing a lot of research on like what goes into the varnish of Stradivari's instruments. And then this thing here, this is all just from wear from my hand or whoever on this instrument just.
It wasn't like that when you first bought it?
No.
Oh, that's all yours.
Yeah, this is all me.
Okay.
But the thing that
excuse me. Did that happen with your other violins?
Yeah, it's a common thing to happen for a lot of instruments. So you see, like, especially the antique instruments.
Okay.
What happens is just the varnish just wears, but the varnish is supposed to do that.
Yeah.
So
and it's the human hand, the musician's hand that makes that happen.
Yeah. So then
that's lovely.
Yeah, and so what they it's almost a desirable thing nowadays to let's make it look antiqued and warm because it just looks more authentic.
Okay.
So to speak.
I would like to hear you do a little fiddling around on your violin.
Yeah.
Violining around on your fiddle.
Yeah. This is a piece that this is a little bit of what in our recent concert, Auburn's recent concert over in Mondavi.
I hope you noticed that Paolo most of the time, he didn't have his eyes on his fingers or the strings. That's just lovely. That's just lovely.
Thank you.
So what piece was that from?
That was the second movement from Brooks' Violin Concerto.
Okay.
The first one, which Amron played during the Mondavi concert.
And Amron is this 10-year-old prodigy who performed at Mondavi.
She is phenomenal.
See what you missed if you weren't there? AuburnSilverscreen.com. No. Auburn Symphony. AuburnSymphony.com. Oops. That is 5 months, 6 months, 3 years? So you've had that?
I've had it for about 2017, so about a little over a year.
Okay.
A little over a year.
Have you named it? Have you named any of your instruments?
I haven't named it,
okay.
But there is a name ascribed to it. And it's written in Hebrew, and Shahid, I think.
Wow.
Yeah. So whoever.
Whoever
before me,
okay.
It must have been En Shahid. So,
okay.
And the case as well, since you mentioned it. When I got this instrument, I was like, okay, I gotta find a better home for it. So then they have so that was like just an excuse for me to order from this website or this maker called Musafia. And so I just asked him, hey, I'd like to order such and such thing. With these specs, so they can you just talk to them over email, and they give you like an estimate of what you want. It's like, it's going to cost this much, and I said yes, that's fine. And so and they delivered it. Yeah, it took about a month and a half for them to build it because it's all handcrafted.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Why do you think music is important? Not to change the subject, but I'm not really changing the subject. Why do you think music is important, Paolo?
I think it's important because it helps. I think it helps us understand the human condition a little bit better.
What do you mean?
Just in terms of our struggles, our joys, just the emotions that we feel. Because even for me as a musician, I get so bogged down with a lot of the things I need to do that I in a way I start to like. I wouldn't say.
So there's life.
Yeah,
and then there's
life.
Music.
Yeah, there's. Yeah, I mean, like you just kind of, for lack of a better term, you get a little bit. You start to get a little callous because you're just like, oh wow, I have these things to do, and you just kind of your mind is just set on getting things done, getting things done, getting things done, and then every now and then you hear music. Oh. Then you can just feel your brain just active and thinking differently. You're like, wow, life is good.
Yes,
so to speak.
Do you have favorite composers? I'm asking for several of them, not just one. I hate that question.
Yeah, because I don't have just one.
No,
I don't have just one. Well, there's Beethoven. Can't ever go wrong with Beethoven. Actually, my favorite piece is his Emperor Concerto.
Oh,
which is it's just
yeah,
fantastic. Which I believe Auburn Symphony is performing in Mondavi Center
in May.
In May,
AuburnSymphony.com. They're performing the Emperor Concerto.
Yeah, yeah, the Emperor Concerto.
Davis.
It's
wow.
Yeah, everything in that piece is great.
Yes.
Mahler, because if there's anyone's music who exemplifies like, struggle and joy, like in a very over exaggerated and bombastic way, it's his music.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
I mean, so many. I love Brahms. Yeah.
Okay.
Mozart, Bach. I've been getting recently into more of like the weirder music. So like like Schoenberg.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Paolo, come on.
And like,
well, that's a way to draw some fidgety, rebellious kids in, though.
Yeah, I agree. If you want them to really understand classical music, you just throw in some Milton Babbitt, and then they'll just be all about it. No, but yeah, but like I think it's just you hear like a lot of things are just tonal. You spend your whole time in that as a musician, and all of a sudden you just like, how much further can I push this envelope of tonality and still enjoy it? And so. So there's that.
And so how much further can you do that and still enjoy it?
Yeah. I think me personally.
Yes, you.
I'm starting to. I think it's possible for the conductor's ear is just like, oh, this is actually really cool stuff. And when the music gets weird, it gets cool because it's just like.
It's experimentation. Let me see what I can do. Mm-hmm. And I've never talked about tonality and atonality on this show. Tonality is what makes music beautiful, right? It's the 12. It's 12 tones and on the piano and so forth.
Then with tonality, so there's two different schools. You have the tonal school, or I wouldn't call them schools necessarily, but like. Terms of like
philosophy,
the style of music, where like tonal music is
Beethoven,
pretty much anything,
and Mozart,
or even pop music is tonal. But like when atonal is when you just remove any semblance of the basic, or
you can't predict what's going to come next.
Yeah.
Okay.
The common idea of what music should be like.
Okay.
That's like the layman explanation of atonality. It's just weird music that doesn't sound like it's going where it's supposed to go.
Yes. Like Rhapsody on a Theme of Paganini. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
Da 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 da. That's none of that is a surprise.
Yeah.
Da 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 da. But and that's tonal.
Yeah.
Right? But if you started that and then just went off in a different direction,
yeah, where it's just like you have like these
Happy Birthday or
non-conventional melodies.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Like just non-conventional harmonies, where it's just like feels like you know, yeah, da 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 da, versus atonality would be like da 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 da
Yeah.
It's just
So there's a different reason to listen to music.
Yeah, but yeah, I think you just listen to, you know, I've just been listening and performing a lot more of this a lot of like non-conventional music, and it's so much fun. As a performer, it is a blast.
Wow.
I mean, it's hard, but I think that's part of the joy. It's just like challenging yourself to really.
So
learn.
in this, when you're playing this atonal music, are you playing to an audience?
Yeah.
Yes, and they're getting a kick out of it or walking out.
Depends. It depends. I mean, for like I think it's mixed.
Yes, they're doing both. Okay.
It's mixed. We have some people who are just like,
what?
I don't understand, and the rest is like, oh, that was phenomenal.
Mm.
So it's really just a mixed
Totally
bag.
unpredictable. Just what I wanted.
just like the music. It's unpredictable and it's difficult listening, but it's something that if you invest the time into it, you really learn to love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you like about performing?
Versus
playing with like rehearsing or playing with some buddies.
Performing, I don't know. It's weird. I think it's like a little comfort area. I think I don't know. I don't sound like a cliche, a hog of the limelight, but it's just there's a sort of comfort.
Fun.
There's a sort of comfort being like on stage and just performing. I think it's simple as that. I used to really dread being on stage, and I had like huge stage fright issues.
Yeah.
But I think you do it enough, you're like, oh.
You get used to it.
You get used to it. And
plus, you're not alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it took me a long time to understand why some musicians won't talk to me on this show. Some musicians won't talk to me because, I don't want to be in front of anybody. But I thought, wait a minute, they're performing. But no, they get to be behind their instrument, and they're not alone.
Yeah, they're not alone.
It's not just them. And it's So I'm really tickled that you came on with me today.
Oh. Well, I think it's the I don't want to say it's a certain thing, but maybe it's the conductor aspect. As a conductor, all eyes are turned on me during a performance. But my back is turned,
to them.
So there's that safety. But now here I am. The camera's right there, and it's facing me, and I'm facing the camera.
And we have to stop, Paolo. We have to stop. I appreciate you talking with me today.
Absolutely, it was fun.
And I hope you investigate more about the Auburn Symphony. AuburnSymphony.com. My guest has been Paolo Reyes, who is on the Auburn Symphony, among others, and conducts the Symphony Goes to School orchestra. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again.